And what is up, guys? Technical Stinkers here, checking in on our little 3D print operation for today. If you're unfamiliar or new to the channel, welcome. I'm a small business owner, and my business has nothing to do with 3D printing, but I got interested in it, and so I've been trying to print things, sell them on the internet for money, demonstrating it to people here, so you can watch, maybe snipe some ideas and get some inspiration or whatever. See what works, see what doesn't. This is just exhibition, not instructional, more of a side income, side hustle kind of thing. At least that's kind of what the realization I've come to lately. I've been remarking a lot about that in the comments. A lot of people chiming in with their thoughts. Love to know yours. Comment below. Subscribe to the channel. Follow along in the fun. Let's see what I got on the plates. All right, so check it in. We only really had the one print. Do you guys smell something burning? Oh God, it looks like we have a fire inside the people. Just kidding. I got a smoke machine for like some comedic effect. Anyway, should have thought that out a little better. So over here on the P1P, we've got our Commissar pieces to finalize out that Commissar model. We're gonna be taking a look at that here, but I've got plans for the printers today. On the heels of the Orange Storm gig, Vape Nation, y'all. On the heels of the Orange Storm Giga, kind of, failing. I've had more fails on this thing than I've had successes, and now it seems like maybe I've got an overheating motor, thanks to the kind people chiming in on the comments, because when the print failed for the second time, if you saw the last episode, when it came back to home, it made that jittery sound. Now, I'm not sure if it wasn't overheated when I stopped the print. I guess it was. So yeah, maybe it is something like that, but I'm not looking forward to tearing this thing apart and tinkering with it. I just kind of want it to work out of the box. And so we'll do what we have to do. I'm going to investigate that a little bit further. But a lot of people chiming in, or some people chiming in anyway, saying like, oh, your printers are quiet. There's a lot of printers not doing anything. They need to be chooching. They need to be making something. Well, that's only if you're selling stuff. I mean, I do make sales, but it's not like a volume of sales. And as many of you know, I don't run Etsy ads or any kind of advertising. I just kind of sneeze stuff out. If it sells, it sells, and I'm just kind of, doing different things along the way, because again, I don't see any meaningful amount of money in this. It's more of a side income thing, and I'm trying to cover a lot of different stuff. So I don't want to commit to one product, because do you really want to watch me if I'm printing like one thing just over and over and over again? That, in my opinion, you probably don't. I want to showcase different stuff. And so let me know. I'd love to know what you think in the comments. So the solution to that, obviously, is to do exactly that. Print a bunch of the same things. So if you've been a fan of the channel, you know I have smoke shops. And so I've been printing these dab stations. They're like little tray desk organizer things for smoking apparatuses or paraphernalia or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up the Cobras. I'm going to load up the Soval. I'm going to get some filament going and just start producing those dab stations like I was previously. I've got plenty of filament over there to facilitate that. And in my stores, I don't sell them. I just kind of give them away. They're like a loss leader promo item, just a nice touch for the customer if they want one. I think maybe we do sell them in some circumstances, but just for like a few dollars. It covers costs, keeps the printers moving and running. And while we do that, we'll reserve sort of the Bamboos, the Soval, the FL Suns, the Flashforge, the Orange Storm Giga, for some of that bigger stuff. So we're gonna let's go ahead and load those up so we can get that going. All right, and so we got the Cobras set. They're running Cobra 2 with the 1mm nozzle, not gonna run that one. And I thought for number 4, it already had TPU loaded. It was set up for TPU. I think I'm gonna print a dab station in TPU. I'm not sure why, just lack of better options, I suppose. So taking a look here at the parts for the Warhammer model. Again, it's sort of an exhibition print, but people are interested in Warhammer, and people buy these models. So figured I'd print it. I like the look of it. Could have done a much finer layer height for sure. And it's like, I can't say that it's like, well, I don't have the time. It ties up the printer for like 3 days if I do a 0.12 layer height. I'm not printing anything else, for it to sell anyway. So this is more of a proof of concept. I mean, I think it's going to look pretty impressive when we get it all together. So I'm going to glue it together now, and we'll see how the final product looks. It's probably time lapse this part because these are a little stuck on there. All right, so we got our model here. Some takeaways from it. When I did the painting, I was just painting on the surface. So you can see here this emblem. On this side, it came out all right, but here on the little gun portion, I guess it was just too thin. I should have painted, I should have flipped the model horizontal and then painted by layer to sink it down in. So good to know for the future. A little stringy, and again, this gray is not the Bamboo matte PLA. It's Elegoo Rapid PLA Plus. So I've noticed with that PLA, when I'm peeling supports off of it, it gets kind of almost kind of gummy, I guess you could say. Like, I don't know if it's because it's just the properties of the Rapid PLA Plus. I've noticed that before on several other models. A little difficult to pull away, but like the matte PLA from Bamboo, it just snaps right off. There's a little piece of support here, kind of like in the trigger there. I just could not get that out. Didn't want to damage the model. So I'm gonna hit it, a little bit of this, kind of, well, get rid of the strings, and then also kind of smooth out some of those sections that were a little suspect, you know, like on the bottom here where I printed this model. I'm just gonna, well, that was a little too much. But at least get rid of the stringiness, kind of fleck off some of the other things, a little here. Ooh, watch the camera, Matt. What the hell are you doing? Just kind of even it out, smooth it out. We'll take a look at her body here. And I was talking about this in the last episode where the supports were contacting her hair. So let's see if we can kind of get this. Now, I could have done a finer layer height, sure. But like, you know, if you kind of see that, kind of, when you hit it with that, kind of blends it out. Kind of blends it out. So if, I mean, if you're looking at it with a microscope real up close, then yeah, you're going to see it. But, you know, overall at a distance, it's not going to make that much of a difference, I suppose. You know, Warhammer aficionados tell me, like, I would never buy that. That's not highly detailed enough. And I mean, and if not, then, you know, at what price do you think other people would buy it? Just cleaning up the back here. Again, she laid flat when she was printing, so just peeling off some of these areas. Like there was a little area here where the support was red, and that came with the rest of the model, and I really don't want that right there. Actually, her cape will cover that up, so I'm not too worried about it. So let's just hit her booty with a little fire here. Looking pretty good. Let's go it together. All right, camera guys, so the way that this model looks like it's gonna be assembled, I did not do the cape. Damn. The cape, so the cape's got this real nice finish to it. Not even that fine of a layer height, just the, you know, the characteristics of the way it printed. So the cape fits over her body like so, and it forms, like I was saying, like a kind of like a third leg. But I want to make sure that it's sitting flush, like the way it was designed, because it's like, it seems like the cape is more of a hindrance when you lay it flat, but it's kind of, it's supposed to come up a little bit. Yeah, kind of like that. So what I'm gonna do, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna hold it here, and then, whew, I guess I'll spray the inside of the cape and then just put a little dab of glue here on the model itself, because I really don't want it to smoosh out, because that'll look ugly. So, let's go for it. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? So spray a little activator on there, and little dab will do ya. I really should have like looked at it and thought about where I was gonna glue first. Okay, so that's too much. That's too much. Now I have glue on my desk. All right, so a dab will do ya. I'm just gonna kind of put it kind of in these areas where I know it contacts, and just kind of hope for the best on this one. And let's hope we get some contact. So we're gonna layer here and then kind of put this on. And then we're gonna wait, because this stuff is like instant. There's no forgiveness with this this two-part Santa acrylate type stuff. Like once it's on there, you can't make any mistakes, because wherever you put it is where it's gonna be. So there's this one section that is not cured, and I'd really like it to be. I'm wondering, because it's basically welded in place, if I just kind of hit it with some of that activator, I'm wondering if it'll snap cure it all up. I'm hopeful. All right, now onto the head. This is, I want to make sure is oriented correctly. Just a little activator right on her neck. I really wish there was finer control with this stuff, because on these little intricate models, it's just kind of indiscriminately just spraying everywhere. And you know, I think when I sprayed that activator before, that's way too much glue. I hope that doesn't like insta-cure and keep me from putting her head on correctly. So let's get this on there. That's good. Little activator on that. Way too much. Sheesh, maybe I should spray this on a Q-tip and then rub it on there to get some better control, because this is just, whew, that's a much. All right, so I don't want to like tilt her too much with the cape. God, we got to be quick about this. There we go. That's in, and now she's off balance because she's side heavy. I'll use the activator can to hold her up. But I need the activator for, fuck. We're gonna get this ready to spray, and we're gonna spray it real fast. I'm holding her. I'm gonna spritz this thing. This is really thrilling and engaging content. I know. You don't think I'm aware of that? All right, and so we need to get this glue up inside somehow. So I'm just gonna dab it on the back. I know you can't see it, but you know, this is kind of detailed stuff. Don't worry, I got more on my desk. All right, I'm gonna use a piece of support. Genius. I'm gonna use a piece of support to kind of like smoosh some glue up inside of her armhole. More glue on my desk. Hey, FlexiSpot, send me another desk. I should have pre-fit this. All right, we got that in there. Instant bond. She's balanced. Let's take a glamour shot. Very cool model. Hats off, Karinka. Very good. So again, some things to note, like the coloring here on the emblem off, layer lining, a little stringy. On her neck here is some like a black line that I'm not crazy about, but I mean overall the model is pretty impressive. It's very large. I mean for a model, multi-day model, multi-part model, you know, I don't know. I mean, I could fit like 3 on a plate, and overall the cost is, let me figure out the cost. Overall, the cost isn't that much. It's about $12 to print all of it, you know, minus any time or glue or frustration or anything like that. Not too bad. I mean, and I know a lot of people, based on what I've seen anyway, a lot of people are like, you know, oh, well, it cost me $12 to print it, then I'll list it for 20. Like, that's not enough, because you're not really gonna get a hell not kind of thing. And again, that's kind of like, I know I've been talking about it a lot lately. Not meaningful amounts of money, or not significant enough amounts of money with 3D printing, but overall, you know, I think it's, hello? Kind of a side thing, for the past 4 years, I've been getting calls for another guy named Matt, not the same last name, but he's actually the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. He's actually moved companies 3 times. He's one of those CEOs that bounces around. They keep calling for him, and I keep telling the people, I'm not that guy. I gotta find a way to monetize that, because this guy's worth money. I got to find a way to monetize these incorrect calls. Anyway, I've been talking a lot lately about, you know, it's not a meaningful amount of money. Again, it's more of a side income thing, in my view. So things like this, like if you're interested in these models, you like painting them, you like printing them. I do like doing that. But it's, I think for most people, they'd be cool with like doing that and then making, you know, $10 off of a print or something like that. But me, I kind of have this nagging voice in the back of my head where it's like, you're wasting your time. Because if I'm not doing something for pursuit of profit, then it becomes selfish. And so, you know, this, while profitable, is not profitable enough. So I don't know, that's just kind of a personal thing, I think. But I think, again, for a lot of people, and maybe someone out there watching, something like this model, you know, it's of interest. You got a 3D printer, you could certainly capable of printing this, and then selling it and making those $10 rips. And then who knows, maybe you sell, you know, 10 a day or something like that, and it becomes worth it. So this is a super cool model. I'm gonna put it on the Etsy regardless. I'm gonna set the price really, really high, and if people buy it, then I'll print more, and then continue down that path. And if it doesn't, it'll just kind of sit there. This isn't like some of those big prints that I threw away where it takes up a lot of space. I don't mind looking at this, and it fits easily into a cabinet if I don't want to look at it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Is it actually terrible? Because I feel like a lot of people will be very critical of some of the errors that I've pointed out, like the coloring here, the layer lininess, you know, some of the other inconsistencies. But overall, at a distance, I think it's a pretty cool model, and I know a lot of people are into Warhammer, so I have high hopes for it. We're gonna see if it works out. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Some other things I'm working on as well, I've got the laundry hide here thing, mentioned that in the last video. I'm not exactly sure if that's gonna work out. I'm gonna try to print a bigger version of that. And then for the Arnstorm Giga, I think I might try another large print on it, maybe like some kind of stress test type print, just to see if I can repeat that error or be present when the error happens. So it's probably something I want to commit a little more time to. And then also in terms of sales, we did sell some more crypto mining shrouds, so that was cool. You know, there's a new crypto mining device out, so I guess people are getting fan shrouds for it. I didn't know it was overclockable, but I guess some people are trying. So we're going to continue down that path, keep printing the dab stations, keep you know, kind of highlighting some of the other things to do with 3D printers in the space. Planning on shooting another video today about the Centauri Carbon. I don't have a Centauri Carbon, and I think maybe I mentioned it in the last video. But as it pertains to competition, again, for people who are 3D printing for money, you know, I see it as kind of a bad thing if you're in that space, not necessarily a good thing when a new, cheaper model comes out, because again, it's just gonna further the race to the bottom. But that's content for the other video. So let me know what you think about all those things in the comments below. Be sure to like the video because it's the nice thing to do, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm the Technicals. See you next time.